YouTube? We got a yo-yo review to do today. This is the One Drop Overture. So the One Drop Overture was designed in conjunction with Mr. Sebastian Brock himself. That's right, Sebi Brock. So Sebi Brock, amazing yo-yo player, great competitor, created the alternative freestyle invitational that happens at the World Yo-Yo Contest generally. And pretty much awesome player and awesome yo-yo. So let's get into the specs. Weight is 66.9 grams. The width is 45 millimeters. The diameter is 57.9 millimeters. Comes stock with One Drop flow groove response pads. Gap width is 4.7 millimeters. One Drop 10 ball bearing, and 61 aluminum, and a nice soft bead blast. I don't have any other One Drops that have this. Usually it's like that heavy bead blast. This one's like very soft bead blasted, and truthfully I think they need to use this more because this is phenomenal. Feels great. Tapped axle, so no side effects, and just overall really good. I was getting, jobs were changing and it was the middle of summer, and just when this came out I just didn't have the funds available, and it flew by the radar. I think maybe we were at nationals, or we were going to nationals, or something like that. Basically the yo-yo money wasn't there, and I was busy, so missed the first run. This is the second run. I contacted David after the fact, right before the V2 came out. We'll review this later this week. Right before the V2 came out, and said, hey, want to get the V2, also want to get an Overture. He said, well, Overtures I have none right now, or I'd sell you one right now and ship it to you, but gonna have Overtures pretty much right around the same time the V2 comes out. You just want to wait and do that together. I said, that sounds great. So we did that, and let me pick a color. Spoiler alert, the next run, whenever it drops, it may already be dropped. Check the link in the description. You may be able to pick some. I know they had some of that, like, splash one. I know they had some splash ones up on the One Drop site, but they were there weren't only a few. But there will be an orange, and this orange is phenomenal. Best color. Awesome. So let's compare it a little bit. So honestly, this feels like if you have a Grail, which if you don't have a Grail, you should try to get a Grail. But if you have a Grail, this really feels like a more powerful Grail. It's got more spin time, more stability, less float. Overall, it's like got more power to it. So, but if you look, very similar as far as the profile shapes are concerned. Cups are different, and you could see here where there's the Grail's just sort of a thin cup all the way around. This kind of has a bigger, thicker rim. So you feel the power. It's also a little heavier. I think the Grail's only like 64 grams. This is about 66, almost 67 grams. So it's got a little more weight, got a little more power, a little more stability, just kind of a little overall better performance-wise. It's sort of almost like if you were to take the Grail and like mash it with the Markmont Classic. That's sort of what you get here. That's kind of how it feels on the string. And then give it a nice bead blast finish. So a very different, it's very contrasting to the Grail, but it's also sort of in the same, it would be in the same vein of stuff, which is not super surprising because One Drop machined the Grail for ART, and of course One Drop has machined the Overture, which, like I said, was designed in conjunction with Sebi Brock, who is amazing. But that's probably enough of me rambling on about it. Let's go throw it around. I'll show you guys what this thing can do. Alright guys, we are back with the One Drop Overture. Like I said, if you're used to the Grail, this is going to be a very familiar type of shape. But at the same time, like, upon first throw, it's going to be very, like, solid and kind of powerful. Like, it's more powerful than you think. It's probably the best way to put it. Good stability for, like, a kind of high-walled organic. It's really sort of almost like it's shocking how it plays. Like, you would expect it to play one way, and then when you throw it, you're like, oh, it actually is pretty pretty stable, pretty powerful, and spins a really long time. So kudos on that. But it's still, you know, it's got that float and that like organic shape. So if you're a big fan of organics, you probably already have this because there was already one run. But this is really good. The grind finish is amazing. Like I said, it's sort of soft. It's not as like harsh of a bead blast as One Drop is generally want to use. So that's pretty cool. Really just kind of fun, good for everything type of yo-yo. Rejects nicely. Spins a long time, like I said. And because of that high wall, you get nice, smooth, fun, nice regens as well. Which, always fun. Who doesn't like throwing regens? If you don't like throwing regens, you just need to work on your regens. Because it is fun. Yep. As far as finger spins are concerned, it's gonna kind of be a no. I mean, it's got a flat bearing in there too, so you're gonna get any horizontal stuff. Well, come on. It's gonna like kind of rub on the response pad, but I mean, if you really want to try it, you could do it. It's just not. It's not really designed for that. You know, you probably got other yo-yos for finger spins. This is not that yo-yo. Not really horizontal either. As you can see, the gap sort of, there's no step in there. It's just sort of a very butterfly organic. So nothing gonna really keep you off the response pads if you're doing horizontal, especially with the flat bearing in there, which is how it comes. Thumb grinds though, you can totally get those. You get it on a little bit of an angle, which I angled it the other way. And yeah, overall, very, very good. Dead smooth as well. One drop smooth. Perfection. Gotta love that. But yeah, let's go ahead. We'll stick it on the desk, and we'll take it apart, and show you guys the insides, and we'll do pros and cons. And we are back on the desk with the One Drop Overture. All right, let's take this bad boy apart, and we will look at the insides. Comes apart beautifully, as all One Drops do. And I've been playing the crap out of this thing. It's awesome. So, comes with the One Drop 10-ball flat bearing. I found that if you take the One Drop 10-ball bearings tend to shriek, but I found that if you take out the once they start to do that, if you take out the shield and then clean it and lube it, all that stuff, you know, maintenance, it performs. It's so silent, so smooth, so like it's almost a soft, smooth spin. It's perfect. So really, really liking the 10-ball bearing that it comes with, especially just, I don't know, something about this shape, like pure organic shapes and like a flat bearing, just there's something classic, and there's just some kind of like perfect feel about it for me, to me. Really long axle, actually very reminiscent of like old CLYW style, like the super long axle. It's not that like thick axle like those, but it's, you know, your standard One Drop axle, but really long. So great there. Flow groove response pads are perfect. I've never had a problem with them. They are the perfect amount of response. Work great every time. Good for regens, good for just, you know, your risky binds or whatever you want to do. They're perfect. Machined perfectly, as all One Drops are. Sean measures everything down to like the millionth of the millimeter, and everything is within a super tight like tolerance. So you can pull the bearings right off, but they still are not like I mean, they're just great. It's really nice to have a new one drop. It's been a long time, but I'm glad they're pumping them out again, because there's really just like an extra step up of great, in my opinion, and for my money, you know, it really doesn't get much better than one drops. So let's do pros and cons. Pros, new kind of blast finish for one drop. Very nice, soft, feels great, grinds great, is great. Really great shape, just a good classic large organic. So you know, if you like the Grail, but you were like, man, if only it spun longer and was a little more powerful, here you go. So sort of a combination of the Grail, which is an amazing yo-yo, and the Markmont Classic, which is also an amazing yo-yo, with a nice speed blast. I mean, really, you know, just sort of a like breath of fresh air in the kind of like, organics are sort of like, there's tons of them, but to kind of have a breath of fresh air in what is an organic yo-yo, really nice. You know, the high wall could be a pro or a con for you. It really does give you that nice, that feel, that high wall feel, and for regens and stuff, having the high wall seems to help it regen smoother. Maybe that's just me, but I really like it. So regens beautifully, grinds beautifully. You can get thumb grinds, although there's no way to really lock it in. That's probably not really a con. Nobody does thumb grinds really besides me. Regen's great. The response is great. One drop 10 ball bearing is great. I really like the flat bearing in the organic area. Just it's something about it. I don't know. It's just a good combination. I think it's like a nice wine pairing with a good meal. It's nice. I mean, really nothing bad to say about it. I mean, it's not going to be your horizontal, your finger spin, or even really your like competition. Yo-yo. It's not a competition shape. But you know what? It spins long enough and is powerful enough. If you really wanted to compete with it, I don't think it wouldn't be a terrible idea. It's just, you know, maybe there's other yo-yos that are more suited for it, but good option anyway, and still really just a fun yo-yo. Really fun. Everything you would expect it to be and a little bit more. A little more power, a little more stability, but still has all those organic qualities that you're looking for. That comfy hand feel, that high wall so you can get your nice smooth regens, and just, you know, all the quality and everything good you would expect out of a one drop. So one drop Overture, the first run sold out pretty quick. The second run, if it's in stores, there's a link in the description. If not, it will be soon, and you should definitely pick one up because it's really good. And I'm sad I missed the first run, but I got an orange one, so I think that makes up for getting it later because I got an awesome orange color. So that's really good. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe. I try to do the videos 5 days a week. I'm gonna miss it this week, although I might get one in on the weekend. We'll see. We'll see. We'll try. Trying is good. Thanks. That's gonna do it for me today, though, guys. Cheers to you. Have a great day.